K-pop groups don't need to have a storyline. Okay, I agree that it's not mandatory, but in my opinion having a concept and storyline makes the group a lot more interesting. It's okay for a group not to have a specific lore, but I noticed that my favorite groups are always the ones with a hidden storyline, enhypen, CIX, very. I personally think it's something that adds flavor and character to a group and it makes them stand out even more. I don't mind survival shows rigging the votes. So many K-pop stans can easily vote for people, and since it's accessible to everyone to vote, it's also frequent that people only go for visuals and for dumb reasons. I think that most rigged groups have a completely balanced lineup, and I will never complain about rigging, to be honest. X1 is *1 were rigged, but the lineup were literally perfect, so sometimes we needed a little help, otherwise we'd have groups only consisting of pretty dozens. I think overdancing is as bad as underdancing. If it's a soloist, then it's okay to overdance because it's their song and they deserve that spotlight. For example, Taemin went viral for overdancing his own backup dancers during the Advice era. But if we're talking about a group setting, I think it's kinda distracting to have one or two members overdancing because they make the whole group look messy. I think dancers with a lot of energy should tone it down to make the group look more even, otherwise the performance will look off and unbalanced. I believe that a good dancer should be able to tone down their style to blend in well with the group. If they want to show off their energy, they can showcase that on a solo performance or with a solo cover, but overdancing in your own group's song will always look messy in my eyes. Fourth gen was never as bad as y'all made it seem to be. I'm sorry, but the whole 4th gen is so messy/noisy/all sounds the same is a very boring argument, and it seems like everyone jumped on that train without forming their own opinion. 4th gen, as any other generation, is pretty diverse, so it's not fair to say it all sounds the same, and if you genuinely think it's all the same, then my friend, you just proved you have zero knowledge of what you're talking about, and you probably stand two groups. I seriously don't understand why everyone started saying that 4th gen was so awful, because it seriously is one of the most diverse generations. I'm very tired of this argument, and I know people will restart the cycle and say that 5th gen is boring and y'all will suddenly miss the 4th general history repeats itself, so I'll be here waiting for y'all to switch up and suddenly love 4th gen as if y'all weren't hating on it a few months ago. The show Queendom puzzle is a total mess and it flopped so hard. I barely see anyone talking about it, and the views are pretty low as well. I watched all the Queendom and Road to Kingdom series, but now it needs to stop because I am now watching Queendom puzzle. It sounds like a stretch. It just didn't capture my attention and the whole concept is confusing to me. I simply am not interested enough to watch it or to search for more info, so yeah, good luck to the participants, but I'll not be watching. As much as I love 3rd gen, many groups of that generation are becoming inconsistent. I know that they have been through mistreatment and military enlistment and stuff, but I couldn't not notice how most 3rd gen groups don't have many comebacks and they mostly release one summer song and one song for a more mature audience. It's like they lost their original color, but now they make music only for the sake of making music and not to gain more fans. I feel like they secured their fandom and they aren't trying to dare anything new, which is disappointing to me. Adult K-pop stans who stan groups with minors are not weird. Y'all are pushing this agenda so much and it's so odd. I am standing a group simply for the music, and if there are any minor members I just won't care about them. As long as we don't sexualize them, I seriously do not see the problem with listening to the music. Some K-pop stans are very weird about this topic and they attack every adult who stans young groups, but as a 20-year-old K-pop stan, I assure you I am here 100% for the music. I will listen to Newjeans, enhypen, Lapillis, ZB1, and y'all cannot stop me because I am not a weirdo. Stop attacking adult K-pop stans, please. I have had so many arguments about this because I ain't doing anything wrong. I literally only jam to the music and that's all. If y'all have a dirty mind, it's really not my fault. But seriously, y'all need to stop making adult K-pop stans feel bad for listening to some music. Stray Kids are the punchbag of K-pop stans and it's so annoying. Y'all are attacking the members for the dumbest reasons, but y'all don't blink an eye when your faves do something racist or do cultural appropriation. The way K-pop stans treat Stray Kids needs to be studied. because it's not normal to make scandals and to attack them every other day. They have done a few problematic things, yeah, we all know, but they apologized and they haven't done anything weird in years. It's really time for Ateez to stop obsessing over them and let go. Itzy needs the biggest apology. I will never forget how y'all gaslit yourselves into thinking Itzy was making a royal comeback, and when Itzy came back with sneakers y'all acted all shocked as if it wasn't the literal teaser. Y'all also threw them under the bus for a silly song such as Boys Like You, and the members also have talked to JYP about this issue. I hope K-pop stans will learn to become kinder because Itzy are the sweetest girls and they never deserved that much hate. I will never understand how people will turn their backs on their favorite groups and start a hate wagon only for a few summer releases. It's crazy. HYBE is my favorite big four agency music-wise. I am not a company stan and I will never be, but seriously HYBE has some of my favorite groups and their music almost never disappoints. I am a huge multi-stan so I also like other agencies' sound, but overall HYBE is my favorite at the moment. The Chaeyoung, Twice, situation just showed how K-pop stans can drop their morals for a literal stranger. I'm so disappointed by everyone, and I won't even elaborate. It's crazy that I should even explain why she's done something unacceptable and that she's invisible to me now. Please, just use your brain instead of blindly supporting idols like they're gods. I was just gaining interest in Twice. But now I'm distancing myself from the whole group as well. I hate how big agencies manage the comebacks and overlap them. For example SM, HYBE, and JYP always make 2 or 3 of their groups have a comeback during the same time, and the promotion period is super messy because groups from the same label overlap and compete against each other on music shows. It doesn't make sense to me. I prefer, for example, C9's strategy. They give CIX a comeback, then after a month they give EPX a comeback, then it's Signature's turn to have a comeback and the cycle repeats. There is no need to overlap the artists in my opinion.
Cause I'm too spicy for your heart.
Idols who are only known as the manny or the visual should work harder in my opinion. If I was an idol I wouldn't want my only personality trait to be the youngest or the prettiest, so if you are only remembered as the manny or visual then there's something wrong. Being young or pretty should never be something that outstands your actual skills. For example, Ningning from aespa isn't known as the manny, but she's known as a great singer and charismatic performer. I don't understand Fanwars, and I think that people who participate in them are childish. I've been a multi-fandom for almost 5 years and honestly I'm just tired of the same thing repeating over and over again. I hate when multi-fandoms say fan wars are low-key fun because why would it be funny if people are insulting your faves from both ways? People who initiate and participate in fan wars are just lame and boring people. If you hate a group that much then simply ignore it and go on with your life lol. Sometimes I feel that, as a YouTuber who makes K-pop related videos, the only way to blow up is to make hateful/controversial videos. It's very frustrating because I personally would never make strongly hateful videos, but I noticed that the most popular K-pop channels have a lot of views just because they share controversies. I'm tired of people blowing up only because they're spreading hate. I wish the K-pop YouTube community would become a more positive place where we simply share opinions and share our favorite songs. When I make less controversial videos I get less views, so I feel obligated to make a controversial video every once in a while, otherwise my channel would flop. This is very sad and I hope it'll change lol.
Super shy, but wait a minute while I make your mind.
Newjeans have good music but it becomes boring and repetitive after a few listens. All of their songs have the same exact structure and it's so lame. I hope they change a little because I kind of lost interest in them after Ditto. I really like their music but I only listen to them a few days after they release something, and I'll get bored of them after that. They release something, I listen to it for a few days, I get bored of them and wait for a comeback, and the cycle repeats itself.
Unforgiven, I'm a villain, unforgiven, I can get there, unforgiven.
I really wish that Hanbin will re-debut under HYBE after ZB1 disbands. I haven't really thought about where the other members would end up, but I'd specifically love to see Hanbin under HYBE. It just feels right. His skills and even his visuals are giving HYBE, and I wish he becomes the new Chaeyoung or Sakura and Shawan, where they basically build a new group around him. I don't know why, but when I see him I keep thinking he would be perfect under HYBE. Please someone confirm my theory because I see the vision. Since I was talking about ZB1, I actually don't want Ricky to debut under SM. I've seen so many people saying they want him to debut in NCT, and oh god no. As much as I love NCT, SM can't manage them anymore and they are planning on the last unit, so there is no space for Ricky in NCT anymore. His talent would be wasted in SM's dungeon, so yeah, he can do better anywhere else honestly. Those weird shippers who make jealousy videos and stuff are the reason why their faves have stopped interacting that much. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but for example shippers have ruined Sunna and NMIXX, enhypen, friendship because they don't even interact on camera anymore. Of course they are friends off camera, but it's just so sad that they don't want to interact that much on camera anymore because they know those weird shippers will go crazy. I'm also very scared about ZB1 because they are such a close group with a beautiful bond, and I don't want those weirdos to ruin everything. I have said in another video that in my opinion shipping is okay because sometimes there's definitely something going on, but it is absolutely not okay to spread your ships and fantasies online. Because those are real people. The shipping culture has become a little too intense and it really needs to stop. It has become so normalized to spread your weird fantasies online that you don't even realize it can affect them. I just want those weird shippers to stop, gosh. I used to ult Ateez, but now they are ranked pretty low in my stan list. I mean, I like their music, sure, but their releases keep becoming less and less interesting to me. I loved their old concept, but now they are using so much more autotune and I noticed most lines are talked/rapped rather than sung, and I really miss their old songs. I am not hating, but I am just expressing how I wish they didn't change their style. I feel like after Gorilla they kinda lost their old identity and they're trying to rebrand themselves as an even more rebel group, and I guess their direction isn't exactly my favorite. Calling Super Junior Super Seniors or Fats Haming Shindong isn't the serve y'all think it is. First of all, even your faves will become old, so calling Suju old is not even an insult because it's only natural to grow. And Fats Haming Shindong is also counterproductive because it just shows how much y'all care about appearance. I do not support Super Junior in any way, and they have made way too many problematic things that made me distance myself from the group, but focusing on their age and bodies is never okay. I don't know how it became so normalized to Fats Haming Shindong, but seriously it's not cute because you're focusing on his appearance rather than his actions. It's just so weird how everyone is Fats Haming him and not seeing the real issue with Suju. Y'all bullied NMIXX so much that they had to change their odd concept and now their music is so normal and it has nothing special. Of course their songs are good, but I wish y'all didn't hate on them that much to the point they changed their whole identity. Their comebacks don't scream NMIXX anymore and they totally lost their style. Now they don't have anything that makes them stand out anymore. I miss old NMIXX and I'll never forgive y'all for this. Itzy went through the same thing. I seriously don't understand why some of y'all hate on quirky girl groups so much. There is no such thing as a pre-debut stan unless the group has made a pre-debut song or something. If you are a pre-debut stan of a group who has no music, what exactly are you even stanning?
My baby says she wanna dance with the ghost. She wants to leave me, yeah. 말을 해줘, 맘에